Oh, yes. I'm somewhat concerned because the only mental health evaluations that I've had to do, yes, was because of crimes that I did not commit. Oh. Now you can look at the video of the bus surveillance camera footage, yes, and the audio from December 31st of 2015. And you can see that I was not in Sequim, Washington. And then you could look at the screen print from the email that I sent from the Port Angeles Library. Yes. At 4:48 p.m. on December 31st of 2015. And then you can look at the videos that I emailed from the Senior Center on June 16th of 2017. And you could go to the Senior Center and see that I signed the logbook and I was not in Brennan, Washington. Now, we're having some difficulty with your fraudulent court orders obstructing my custody of my sons because you refuse to acknowledge the actual laws of the United States. Now, in 2011, when you put mental health evaluation, it seems that the fraud, yes, of obligate, the fraud, yeah. Now, I'm not motioning a court, yes, that did not protect my right to due process. You did not have jurisdiction or authority of law to obligate me to a mental health evaluation because I wasn't a resident of the state of Washington. Pooh. Heidi made up a story on Guam and had me arrested for the allegation of domestic violence and child abuse. Now, you would have thought after the 100th time of telling you about this, pooch, you would have removed your fraud. Instead, you're saying, well, he's going to have to motion the court. The court that doesn't admit evidence when alleging crimes? Yes. The court that will not recognize the requirements of the law? The court that does not see a problem with forgeries being used as the petitioner's name, Heidi Lee Budner? Ooch. The court that wants to cover up their own crimes? Now, when I tell you I want my sons to call me, it's because of your fraud. The dissolution of marriage, where on May 24th, 2012, you allowed for my wife to motion the court for dissolution of marriage, yes, and you served me and arrested me at the same time, Fooch, for the allegation of violating a protection order where I wasn't a resident of the state of Washington. Now, I'm going to keep telling you the truth until you do what the law says. Because the truth of the matter is, you're really upsetting me as a judiciary. Now, I had a little time at the food bank and I was sitting there. Yes, I was looking at the Consumer Protection Act. Yes. Maybe you didn't realize that 50% of my disposable income, do I owe back child support? See, it says if you owe back child support greater than 12 months of back child support, yes, they can take an additional 5%. Now, I'm wanting to know, okay, this lump sum payment of back child support, yes, is that inclusive of only taxable income or a possible inheritance that I have in Clallam County where you've been getting paid? Paid. Now, I have some screen prints and it's a nice day. Folks, I can sit out here. Yes. And then maybe I'll go into the study room and I'll show you some more documentation. Because the truth of the matter is, when you issued a dissolution of marriage and my wife said, oh, I mailed it to him, and I was like, well, I never got notice of court hearings. And then your mindset was, well, we're going to teach the guy a lesson. He can go to the. Well, I've told you for the last 3 years that it's against the law. And for some reason, yes, you as a judiciary seem to think that you do not have to do what the law says because I'm a homeless man and no one's going to enforce my rights. Ooh. Well, I think it's your responsibility when you have knowledge of dissolutions of marriage being issued, yes, where you're going to garnish my wages to understand that the Title III has a dual impact. Yes. First, it limits the amount of earnings subject to garnishment by creditors. Yes. I really thought of the state of Washington being a creditor to my wife and then I was going to pay them back. Yes. Did the state of Washington actually make any child support payments above and beyond just the welfare benefits that she was eligible to receive? Why don't you do an accounting of each and every individual in child support services that said, well, she's trying to become a teacher and she needs some additional monetary help? See, it's a big problem when a court issues a dissolution of marriage where I'm the one that has to pay for your fraud, and then there's a possibility, yes, that my wife got the state to give her some additional funds above and beyond the welfare benefits. Yes. Now, she didn't borrow money from the state thinking that they would collect from me. Yes. Are there any penalties or fees that are included in this back child support budget? And then is there some sort of interest financing for loan earnings subject to garnishment by creditors? Is the state a creditor to my wife and I'm the individual that owes them? Ooh. Could you get me the actual state laws that allow for the garnishment of any wages of any individual? It prohibits an employer from discharging an employee because of one garnishment. As will be seen, the title represents a compromise between polarized views concerning the legitimacy of garnishment as a collection device. I just wanted to know, this whole idea of spouses getting protection orders where there's no due process to their spouse. Yes. And then getting dissolutions of marriage where the marriage certificate's from the United Nations. And then getting dissolutions of marriage without any proof of service. Yes. And then not serving their spouse after getting the dissolution of marriage. And then me not having any right to appeal. And me not having an actual copy of the dissolution of marriage. And then me being obstructed. Now, I'm really going to want to know, okay? Give me the total amount of monies owed. The state hasn't been extending credit in the name of being able to collect for child support or alimony payments as if they were the creditor, ooch, to those poor victims of domestic violence that run out